evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard. Once you have located your seat,
From Channel 2 News, here is the early morning report. And Monday is expected to be a rainy, generally unpleasant day. I'll have the forecast in a few minutes.
YouTube, what is good? So I just got back from a couple days in New York. The entire time I was there, I ate great food and I did photography and made videos for y'all. So today's video is part 1 of a 3-video series, as well as a bonus video going on the Patreon documenting all the photos that I made in New York, sharing the behind the scenes, the experiences, how I made the images, and most importantly, giving y'all some inspiration. That is what I make these videos for. So if you watch this and afterwards you want to go out and shoot or edit some photos, or you just get inspired to be creative in general, hit the thumbs up button for me and subscribe if you are not yet. So I don't want to waste time on this intro. Today's video is really in 2 main locations. One is around the city of New York when the sun just came up. So we have some awesome New York harsh light street photography, as well as some photos made in the more underground part of New York, being their subway stations. So if you're someone who has the Evan Ramp preset module, the formulas that you can use to replicate the looks on this, any of the photos made during daylight, the base on those was tone curve 2, basic adjustments 9, color boost 1, color grade 3, and vignette. And the subway photos, the base on those was tone curve 2, basic adjustments 2, color boost 3, colors 3, and vignette. So if you want to replicate any of those looks, that's how you can do it. And if you don't have the preset module, you can pick it up on evanramp.com. It's my way of doing presets, but I feel like it's much more practical as opposed to just slap on one size fits all, traditional presets. This is my version, and it makes it really cool because y'all can follow along in the videos with the edits if you have it. So if you pick that up, I really appreciate it, and you're also supporting the channel by doing that. And speaking of supporting the channel, today's video is sponsored by my friends over at Cuts. We're going to talk about them later, but Cuts was a big part of this trip because I essentially wore one of their hoodies the entire time. But we'll talk about all that later. Let's get to it. Y'all know the vibes. GoPro mode. Let's get it. So there we go. That is a half day of photography in New York. So many photos I ended up editing down. I think it was like 2 hours of GoPro footage down to that 6 minutes that you saw right there. Now, before I tell you my favorite photo and I rank it out of 5 and give you an editing breakdown, I do want to thank our sponsor today, Cuts. Cuts recently sent me a bunch of their new collection called the Cabernet Collection, just in time for Valentine's Day. Look what we got right here. We got this fire Henley. This is the elongated cut Henley, which y'all know is my favorite t-shirt they make, the elongated one. Also got a t-shirt in this. This is the split hem. I'm actually wearing a split hem right now. And then we have a hoodie, which, like I mentioned, I wore one of their hoodies the entire time I was in New York. Easily one of my favorite things to wear. And I also wore one of their bomber jackets. They have a variety of different products for everyone, but most importantly, what I love about Cuts is their minimal design and the fact that you can feel comfortable wearing their clothes in any situation. You know, me filming this YouTube video 2 hours ago, I was at a lunch meeting with someone wearing this exact same outfit, and in both situations I feel very professional. But I can also take these same products that I wear in a professional setting and bring them out on photo outings with me, like I did with the 2 Cuts hoodies that I brought to New York with me. So if you want to check out Cuts, I highly recommend it. Like I said, my favorite cut of theirs is the elongated cut t-shirt. So regardless of how you plan on wearing it, whether you're going to wear it out in the field, to meetings, or you just want to look fresh on Valentine's Day, Cuts is the way to do it. So you can go to the link in the description on today's video and save yourself 15% on that first order, or you can use code EvanRampt at checkout. So head to that link, save yourself 15%, and also support the channel in the process. But what was my favorite photo from this day of photography? We have a lot to pick from here, okay? Personally, I really like the look of these images. You know, something about New York and the colors there and the sun. I don't really like blue sky days. You can kind of see towards the end of the video when we get to the Brooklyn Bridge that the color and that real charm of the harsh sunlight is kind of wearing off. But when we were on the Manhattan Bridge, the colors from the blue sky and the harsh light, they just look so great together, and I absolutely love those looks. But I happen to get an image that it's just too perfect to not say is my favorite on the day, and that is the one inside the train station. That guy was just sitting there basically posing for me. I mean, he barely moved. All I had to do was sit there and wait for the train to come. Everything about that is solid. The composition, we have layers. I love the colors. I like the fact that the subject is wearing nice light clothing so they stand out against the moving train. If you want to replicate that effect, what I did was basically just drop my shutter speed to like 1/30th, 1/40th of a second and made sure I was really still so that when the train came through, it was nice and blurry. Just everything about that shot worked absolutely perfectly, and the formula on that edit right there, if you have the editing module, is tone curve 1, basic adjustments 3, color grade 3, color boost 3, colors 3, wow, we're using 3 a lot on that one, vignette, and soften 2. And remember, when I fine tune all my edits, I take them into Photoshop and I do a color balance adjustment there, which is my version of a color correction. So keep that in mind if you're someone with this module or you're trying to replicate my look. You're gonna have to take the photo into Photoshop and do a little bit of color balance yourself to replicate it perfectly. And I'm eventually gonna post all the final photos from this day to my Instagram at EvanRampt. But if I'm ranking this thing out of 5, we are gonna give this particular photo right here 3.78 out of 5. That's a pretty high score for me. I was considering 4, but there could have been a little bit more going on with this one, but all in all, I'm extremely happy with it. And I also really like the image of the person silhouetting through the fence on the Manhattan Bridge. Something about that one is just really charming and New York feeling to me, as well as the person running on the Manhattan Bridge. I think that one came out great as well. Let me know in the comments which one stood out to you, which one was your favorite, and give me your thoughts on making photos in New York. And also, I guess if you have any questions about traveling during the current world situation, you can drop them below. I'll answer comments for the first 2 hours this video is live. Y'all are the truth, and stay tuned for part 2 and part 3 of this behind the scenes series from New York in 2022.